YouTube.
Welcome.
Are we well
to
adjusted for them? Yeah. You're blocking over there though.
Well, I'm blocking myself.
Oh, okay, I didn't realize. Yeah, okay, then we're good. We're good.
So hi everyone, welcome to our weekly workshop.
Hello everybody.
So we have special guests today. You can't see them that big yet, we'll come to them shortly. We're just going to do a few quick intros. First things first, like we always do, celebrations.
Of course.
So anywhere in chat, either on Facebook or YouTube, if you guys want to just share.
We're going to turn the volume up, but we want to share what your celebrations are this week. It can be non-scale victories, it can be scale victories, it could be anything you want to share that's positive. We want to send out a message of positivity for every single person right now. We need to live in this positive state of mind. It is so important as we are dealing with what we're dealing with. I mean, this is going into 8 weeks now for some of us, which is absolutely insane. Even with the white stuff falling from the sky in Toronto today.
Oh my god, it was blizzarding.
There was a blizzard as we were in workshops. It was insane how white it was. I'm sitting there going, it's May. It's May 9th today. But I think Mother Nature is saying, stay home, people. It's cold outside. Don't go outside.
That's what she's saying.
That's what she's saying.
So I think for all of you right now, please put any celebrations, any non-scale victories, anything that you achieved this week, please share it in chat. Have everybody celebrate your... And Melanie Bell, she's back within 2 pounds of her goal. That's awesome.
Amazing.
We have celebrations today.
We do too. We have celebrations, and I know 2 people over here have celebrations today. I'm not sure about Laura yet, but I'm sure Laura's got a lot of celebrating to do.
So you want to share ours?
Yeah, we'll share ours.
So we weighed in today. I was down 4.2 today. So we know we've been saying how the scale isn't always responding. Well, it's starting to. I'm down to 179.7, which is 109.3 lost overall.
Yeah, and I was down 3.5 this week, which compensates for the up last week, but it's okay, like I know. And someone in a workshop, so a total of 94.2, and someone in a workshop today was like, I'm always going up and down these 2 pounds. And I'm like, be happy with that. As long as it doesn't go up. If you go up, down, you're learning to maintain. That's what maintenance is.
If you guys go back to our workshops for the last 8 weeks, we've been saying the scale hasn't been moving much. Nope. We've been going up and down, but one day something will happen. It'll just happen. And right here, 8 weeks later, it happened. So any of you who are doing exercise, who are just starting, take the time to make it work. You have to give your body time to adjust. It's a new routine. Your body needs to adapt to what you're doing.
And also, you're going to be a little more hungry if you're adding more activity into your life. You're gonna need more fuel. You'll need more protein. You need to make sure you're burning, like you're taking in enough to put what you're putting out in that sense, right? You don't want, the way to lose weight, of course, is you're burning more than you're actually eating, but you still have to eat a healthy amount. And if you're burning a lot more, that means you should be eating a little bit more. So keep that into consideration, okay?
So a bunch of people here, Gwen is saying her clothes are feeling better. Peanut saying she's been doing Leslie Sandstone all week because of us. So Karen is her 44th wedding anniversary today, so she's celebrating that.
And we heard there's one out there, which is Judy Rive. I don't know if she's watching right now.
Goal.
Who?
Gwen staying at goal, sorry.
Excellent. Judy Rive it's her birthday today, so we want to wish her a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Judy.
Happy birthday, Judy. Happy birthday, dear Judy.
Happy birthday, enough.
Birthday, Judy.
We'll sing that tonight instead. So that's
I'm still doing Chicago today.
And there's more in here. There's other people who are celebrating, like someone started exercising, people who are maintaining their goal. That's amazing, guys. Anything, my jeans still fit. You know what, guys? Those are things you need to remember to celebrate. We talked a lot about this today at the workshops we visited. The scale is not the ultimate measurement. And actually, we just did a video this weekend that kind of alludes to the whole scale topic. I see Casey Joe laughing there. We'll talk about that tomorrow, actually, on a live show. So let's just say there's a video coming out this week featuring 4 people again. So watch for that this week. So this week's workshop is about families.
Yes, because guess what? this is my family here.
And the
then the
kitties.
kitties. And the kitties won't follow green, they won't follow blue, and they won't follow purple.
They don't point, they don't track.
The only thing they
try.
like is chicken. So
Yeah.
they're all good. They're
all
set.
good.
They run around, they fight, they get activity. They don't have a problem.
Yeah, it's us that has the
I
problem.
like how I say they get activity as they're laying
Yes.
on the couch sleeping
Sleeping.
all the time.
Yeah.
But they get activity. It's, you know what, but when it comes to like having kids and having a family to balance.
We can't provide those tips. We've never experienced that. We don't have children. We don't have a family that's a bigger family, more than two of us. We've been able to do this together because we planned to do this together.
Yeah.
So now we actually brought in the experts. And I don't like using the quotes because I do think they are experts, but I think I don't want to get sued, so I'll say experts.
What I kind of like about what we brought in three different people, but two of them doing the program together, and one doing it alone, but not really because doing it with their family.
We'll let them explain
their
So,
situations.
first we'll introduce Laura.
So
what
let's
we're
do
gonna
that.
do
We're
is
going to.
I'll do that, hon. You stand
Yeah.
there. You know
Yeah,
I'm better
yeah,
at
yeah.
this.
So what we'll do is we are going to mute Casey and Joe for right now, and we're going to bring Laura up on full screen.
Yes. So Laura.
Wrong one.
No, when she talks,
Oh,
it'll
okay.
show up. So when Laura,
Okay.
there we go.
Hi everyone.
So hi Laura. So first of all,
Introduce yourself.
Introduce yourself. Talk about your journey and then how your family situation. Okay.
All right. Well, I'm Laura. I'm a mother of three. I have three young kids. They're 3, 6, and almost 9.
We're
work
bowing to you,
full-time.
by the
I'm
way.
at school, at a private school. Yeah. So I think that's why Jean-Luc and Nick wanted me. I'm a woman of many hats. And I just make it happen. I don't know what else to say. I met Jean-Luc and Nick maybe 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and I kind of fell off the bandwagon with Weight Watchers, and then rejoined like many of us do, and then re-met them once they were much smaller, but still just vibrant and exciting as ever.
Oh.
And at that point, I was back to the gym, and I started, working out with Nick a little bit more, and sometimes Jean-Luc. So that's how we created a bit of a relationship there, because I became more active, or what some people call a gym rat, I think.
You definitely did
Yeah,
become a gym rat,
yeah.
and I hate you using gym rat because
Gym's just
like a gym connoisseur
Yeah.
sounds so much better,
yeah,
right?
a gym taster.
A gym aficionado,
yeah,
right?
it's aficionado.
Because
Yeah, and it's so funny because never in my life did I ever think that somebody would describe me as being active
Yeah.
or sporty or anything like that. So it still kind of surprises me when people do say like, oh, you're so active.
we have a new term for you from somebody here on YouTube. They said a gym queen, honey.
Yeah,
You
gym
are
queen.
a gym queen.
Yes, please.
Yes,
Yeah,
we're
so-
gym queens too.
Yeah, it works for us too. So Laura, one thing I want to talk about is your situation. So you actually are the only one doing the program in your family.
Yeah, so tell us about your family dynamics right
Yeah.
now. Like how many, you said you had 3 kids and you're married, you have a husband as well.
Yeah. So we've been married for 10 years. Actually, October will be 10 years for us. We had kids right away. So there's never been a whole lot of me time. We pretty much, as soon as I had babies, it was kind of like gain 50 pounds, lose 50 pounds, gain 50 pounds, lose 50 pounds. So like I was saying to my husband the other night, like my daughter, my eldest, has seen me gain and lose the same 50 pounds 3 or 4 times now. And, what brought me to Weight Watchers is that I just needed somebody to connect with, because my husband's always been tall and lanky his whole life. And even when he does put on weight, it's not the same as when I put on weight. So he can't connect with me. He can't understand what I'm going through. So I needed a community of people who could understand what I was going through, both emotionally and physically.
So when at home with your husband, so how do you plan meals? How does that work? Because I know that when you talked to us originally, you said that you're the only one doing the plan right now. The rest of your family is not following WW, so you're the one doing it alone. So how does that work for you right now? How do you manage doing that? I think a lot of people probably are in the same situation and want to know.
Yeah, absolutely. So because I cook all meals, like my husband doesn't cook anything. If he cooks, it's kind of junk kind of food.
So he's the indulge meal cooker.
Yes. Like last night he made pizza because I was like, I don't want to cook, so he made pizza. So I meal plan, and because I have little kids, you know they're not going to eat everything. They're not going to eat Brussels sprouts. They're not going to eat a whole bunch of stuff. My 6-year-old does not eat pasta.
Oh,
So
wow.
we meal plan. We have about 10 meals that we will eat as a family. And sometimes we all eat the same meal, and sometimes we don't. For example, my prime example would be Taco Tuesday. So we have tacos every Tuesday. I only use ground chicken or ground beef. I don't use, ground chicken or ground turkey. We don't use ground beef anymore. And then the kids have tacos, and I have taco salad.
So I want you
I can find.
I want you to. You used a term the other day when we were talking, and I hope you remember that term.
Oh yes, yeah. Okay, so I said I make a modified meal. So I refuse to make my kids a separate meal, because I have to cook. I don't need to make 2, 3, 4, 5 meals, right? So I use the term modified meals. So for example, if we're having chicken, my kids love chicken nuggets, then that would be a night where I would modify the meal that I would have a chicken breast and they would have chicken nuggets, but then we're all eating the same vegetable, whatever it is. They're okay with vegetables, like not fantastic. But yeah, I try to modify it wherever I can. So I've been pretty sneaky with certain things, like mashed potatoes are actually mashed cauliflower, and they don't know any difference.
And that's what I was trying to figure out. Like I have a feeling you probably just the ground turkey. If I could use ground turkey, ground chicken, you probably have also trained them to enjoy that more than ground beef as well now. So you have changed your family in some ways.
They don't even know.
Exactly. So I think for a lot of people out there, that's something you need to kind of think about. If you want to start switching stuff in your recipes, start with small things that are easily replaceable and not as distinguished as recognizable, so that maybe you can try it out. And sometimes they'll try and we've had situations where people have done our recipes and their husbands or wives or kids oh my god, that was so amazing chicken nuggets, they never thought they would like them. So trying stuff out is a very good thing.
One thing we forgot to ask you today is, what is your celebration today, Laura? Like, what are you are you celebrating anything today?
I guess I didn't even tell my whole WW story.
Please share. Please share.
Okay, so I like I said, I started WW in, I know you guys know, January 2018.
Yeah.
I walked in there.
Okay, so one caveat. Same location as us. That's
we
why
walked into the same. We
were all in Brampton. So Laura,
Cheryl was our coach.
Yeah. So keep going. Sorry.
Yeah. So it wasn't my heaviest. My heaviest weight actually was probably about 15 pounds heavier. But now I just track based on that weight. So I did well for about 4 months. That's when I knew Jean-Luc and Nick. I didn't really talk to them a whole much. I was super shy.
And we talk a lot, right, Laura? Right, Laura? We talk a lot, right?
Yeah.
See, it never stopped. We were still talking in our meetings back then.
Let her talk.
Yeah. So basically, after about 4 months, I just kind of gave up. Not because the plan didn't work, because it did. In those 4 months, I lost probably 20 or more pounds.
Do you mind adding where you started, just if that's okay? Would you be willing to share that?
Yeah. So my starting weight was 206. So that was my highest weight with Weight Watchers. My highest weight ever actually was 230. That was prior to me getting married. but I managed to lose a fair bit before I got married and before I got pregnant with my first baby. And then, you know, the cycle of up and down, gaining and losing from the babies, that's what happened. But like I said, after about 4 months, I just gave up. Again, not because the plan doesn't work, it does. I just was kind of, I don't know, I think I just let myself get back into old habits, and I didn't approach the program with the right mindset. And that was the biggest difference between the first time I went on plan and the second time. So about a year, well, actually a couple months passed, and I lost a really close friend of mine, and I got really depressed, and I put back on the 50 pounds again. So I put myself back up well over 200 pounds again. And I said to my husband one day after Christmas, I said, you know, this is enough. I have to take care of me. If I'm ever going to take care of these kids, I have to take care of me. So a couple of days before New Year's, I walk into Weight Watchers, and guess who walks in behind me?
I think you guys know them.
And honestly, it was, I just remember thinking like, oh my goodness, like, you know, if I had stayed on plan for a year, I could have been where they are. And I just looked at them and really listened to what they had to say that day, and thought, you know what, I approached it wrong the last time. And the difference was I needed the community. And so I made sure that day I went over and said, I believe I went to Jean-Luc, and I said, you know, do you remember me? And he was kind of nice about it. He was like, oh yeah, I think I remember you. Probably didn't.
The funny part about
I never talked at the meeting at all.
The funny part about it is I did remember you, right? And the thing is it happened to me again, because later on, after this next stint, I end up meeting Laura at the gym after having not seen her for a while. And she talked to me, and I'm like, who am I talking to? Because I have no clue who this person was. Because she had already lost the 50 pounds again, so I had no clue I was talking to again. It was really crazy. Like, your transformation was insane. And honestly, when you told us this story last week, well, not last week, Thursday, a few days ago, we were both shocked because we had no clue whatsoever.
We don't know how people meet us, how we influence people. Like, we don't see here.
Yeah.
Like, I would love somebody to post it ahead and say, who's been influenced by us in some way? Who started the journey because of us? Just to see, because I don't know. We don't know these things. Only you guys know how we impacted you guys, right? So we don't know.
And it honored us for you sharing that story with us and sharing this with everybody else, because it's not something that we ever expected to do. But I'm so glad we did bring that out of you, because look at what you were able to accomplish on your own.
Yeah.
And the thing is that I love what you said about the community.
Like, when like the biggest thing for me was, like I said, creating that community and actually participating in workshops, because the first time around I never said anything, and I just sat and I listened and I took my mental notes on things, but I didn't participate, and I wasn't, like, my head wasn't in the right spot. But then after going the second time, I was like, you know what was the biggest difference? And it was that you participated. And so now in workshop, I talk all the time. And I'm sure people say to me, like, or probably think, you know, can't this girl just be quiet and let somebody else talk? But you know what, if somebody can learn something from me, then why shouldn't I share it, right? And I do, you know, I was touched that you asked me to speak, but I feel like a lot of people have a lot to learn, because, you know, a lot of people's excuse is, you know, well, I have kids, or I work full time. I don't have time to go to the gym. I don't have time to meal prep. I don't have time to cook healthy meals. And I see it a lot where people, they order in a lot of their food, or they, you know, they make excuses about the gym. But I'm telling you right now, I work full time. I have three kids. Actually, I have a side business too. You know, I have to clean my own house. It's not like I have a cleaner or anything, right? And I go to the gym, and these two guys can attest to it. I go 2-3 times a week for an hour a day, and then I work out at home for about an hour a day
And I'll point out,
with a rest day here and there.
And I'll point out too, like Laura, whenever she would show up, she would tell me, oh, this is my time. I spoke to my husband about this, and he has agreed that it is important for me to be healthy, and therefore he gives me the time to leave and go do the gym, and he takes care of the kids during that time. And I love when you said that, because like,
it goes to show you that your
partnership.
husband is very supportive still, which is amazing.
Yeah.
You're very fortunate to have.
As much as he doesn't follow plan, he is very supportive. You know, he never complains about what we're eating. It doesn't matter what it is. If he doesn't like it, he just keeps quiet and he eats it. He never complains about me going to the gym. I mean, how many times have I said I was going for 1 hour and then I end up staying at the gym for 3 hours talking to these two guys?
We
right
never
here.
did that.
Or convincing her to do another class.
Or going to my own class and then having to stay for the next class because you guys came. But I mean, very supportive. And that was one thing like that I would suggest for any couple is just communicate with your partner of how you can make this work for you or for both of you. Because like I said, my husband doesn't go to the gym, but he knows that Tuesdays and Thursdays and Sundays are my gym days. And he knows that Saturday mornings are my workshop day. And so he knows that he is not to plan anything on those evenings. And we also know that, you know, the other days, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, are his days. If he wants to go to the gym, he can. I don't pressure him. But if he wants to go for coffee with his brother or whatever, you know, that's the communication that we have there.
That's amazing.
And we do meal plan together as well. Like, I mean, I ask them for suggestions, but for the most part, it's
So talking about meal planning, there was a question out here, and it was
last question, and then we'll go to Casey and Joe.
what are your best kid-friendly suggestions as far as meals?
So, like I said, the tacos is a pretty big hit in our family. The chicken nuggets, I believe it is your recipe that I do use. It's just the chicken breast with the panko.
Yeah, that's ours, yeah.
And some seasonings like the Clubhouse Parmesan seasoning. So I do make those quite a bit because I mean that's all my kids want is chicken nuggets. So I don't feel bad about feeding them that when
it's basically healthy food. You're making your own from scratch, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, we eat the 2-ingredient dough a lot for pizza. They love making their own pizzas, so that's probably like a once a week or sometimes twice a week kind of meal. And we eat a lot of once a week. We always have breakfast for dinner too. So turkey bake and eggs. Sometimes they'll have toast. Usually I don't unless I have the points for it. And then they eat it with fruit instead of vegetables, obviously. Right. But yeah, those are some of our go-tos.
That's awesome.
And burgers, turkey burgers. They love turkey meatballs, turkey meatloaf. Those ones are all big hits in our family.
That's awesome.
Clearly, we eat a lot of ground turkey.
It's so funny though, because we eat a lot of ground turkey and we don't touch a lot of ground chicken. We don't like the flavor of ground chicken.
It's been turkey all along for us.
It's so weird, but ground chicken, like a piece of chicken, we're totally good with, like chicken breast, but if it's ground, it's gotta be turkey. Yeah. Thanks again, Laura. Greatly appreciate it. We'll bring you back at the end to get to talk to all three of you guys together, but love your story. Congratulations. Great seeing you doing this with a family.
So now I'm unmuting Casey and Joe. Casey and Joe, you're up next. You guys can talk, you'll show up on screen. I love how it does that. So you guys know the famous Casey and Joe.
Or as we know, the McCarthys.
So we go way back to a month ago. No. So we brought Casey and Joe because they have a different dynamic. They also have a family, many children. So let's we'll first let you guys describe what your familial situation is, and then we'll
well, first of all, go for introduce yourselves and what your success is this week.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm Casey.
I'm Joe.
And we're the McCarthys. I'm actually sick of hearing myself say that.
Well, we have to say, and we're the WWDs, and that we get it.
But so our different dynamic is that we're a split family. So this is our second marriage. So there's 6 kids involved.
6.
So our kids range from 18 to 7. And our successes this week is I lost 2.2 pounds finally.
Hey,
And I'm down 1.8 this week.
Woo! That's amazing,
So our
guys.
exercise paid off this week.
Yeah.
And we told you, Casey, wait, it takes time. It's not right away. And it'll still take time. You might lose this week, you might start gaining a bit in the next few weeks, but eventually it'll start. That's what happened with us. We gained and lost and gained and
Okay.
lost, and then
Yeah.
boom, it starts to happen. That's just the way.
don't let don't let 1 week of next week possibly. I'm not.
Yeah, we're not saying it's gonna happen for sure.
Don't
but-
let next week, if you do maintain or you do go up a little bit, stop you from keeping on going the following week.
Yeah.
That's the important thing right now.
That's one thing that we've
I'm
learned.
really enjoying the exercising.
I know, I've
I
been seeing your posts.
I never in a million years thought those words would ever come out of my mouth. But yesterday I got up and I did, I couldn't do the 7 a.m. because that's just way too late. But at 8 a.m. I did Leslie Sanford, and then at 10 o'clock last night, was it?
11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, 11 o'clock last night I said, come on, we got weigh-in, we gotta do one more. So we did it again.
And that's the thing is when you find something you enjoy, eventually
It kind of becomes
Yeah.
a
you
new
want to do it.
obsession.
You want to do it, and that's why that's what we're going on with us. Like, working out at home for us is work. Like I'm looking at myself in the camera. I won't lie. I keep seeing how small my butt's getting. I am sorry for bringing that up because it's just I have a very bad love-hate relationship with my posterior, and it always expands a little too much into my liking. And so right now I'm seeing it shrinking.
I'm not complaining.
He doesn't complain, but I complain. Okay, I don't like my posterior, and so I'm just noticing that. And I know what you mean. Like it's that whole like.
But it's funny how now your addiction of a food, basically, because back in the day, what would you been doing at 11:30 at night?
Oh, yes.
She would have been asleep on the
Oh,
couch.
that's true. I would have been passed out on the couch for sure.
That's even
Yeah.
bigger.
At
So
10 o'clock.
It
Yeah.
changes
I
everything.
just feel so much better all around.
And that's
feel
what.
even my sleep schedule is so much better.
And that's why I think we wanted to point out to you from a few weeks ago is that you have to give it time because a routine is not just done in a week.
nope.
And a lot of people assume, oh, I'm working out. I've been working out 2 weeks. Why
It
am I not
takes-
losing weight? It takes
21 days to create a good habit and 28 days to break a bad one.
So it takes a long time, and so that's why even with the whole doing exercise and working out, that same concept applies. Okay, so enough about that. Let's go back to today's topic, family.
So, but who started with WW first?
Yeah, your WW journey story.
Yeah, so I started on February 1st of this year. I had signed up digitally right after Christmas and I didn't follow it. I think I needed the meetings. I'm somebody who needs that for me, it's accountability. I need someone to weigh me in. And so on February 1st, I went, and then the very next Saturday, I made Joe join. And yeah, so
It's been a ride ever since.
we're having a lot of fun. Like I really like the foods we're eating. I like seeing the kids participating and exercising. We've done like Laura, we've modified things. But we're finding that the kids are also modifying too. Like they're like, well, I want some of that. Or what is that you're eating? Like for instance, the other day we made chicken Caesar wraps. And I didn't eat any that night. I had something different, I think. But anyways, Mackenzie made hers out of the lettuce. Like she made it completely different. She didn't even have a wrap. So it's nice to see the kids also
Embracing it.
making the changes too.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And I know that your daughter is also is doing it with you guys, right?
Yeah, so Mackenzie joined, I'm actually not sure when she joined. I think it might have been March, about a month after us. She just does it digitally, which is completely fine with her. She's only 18. She only wants to lose about 20, 25 pounds. But she's doing really good. She's down 10 pounds. She does most of the cooking now.
That's
It's
amazing.
like half the time it's her doing the cooking. So yeah, she's gonna be great when she moves out one day.
Well, it's kind of beneficial for you guys too, because if someone's doing the cooking for you, that's on plan. Like that's a win-win.
Yeah.
in
And
that
not
sense,
just that,
right?
Yeah.
she's also learning the right habits because my mom has always said to me, she's always said, I'm so sorry I didn't teach you how to eat correctly. She's apologized. And it's like, Mom, it's not your fault. You didn't know either. Like my mom learned later on in life too how to eat correctly because she was not taught what the right things to eat.
But
and
I
so,
think too,
and so
what
the fact that
happens
you're
is-
passing that on to your children now, all 6 of them, you know, it's gonna permeate throughout the rest of your family. And they're all gonna maybe have less issues with weight. Maybe we have a healthier relationship with food than the rest of us has had, right?
Completely. And it is teaching things. It's teaching kids at a young age what a good portion size is. You know what good choices are.
Yeah.
But
what healthy is.
and also making sure that they realize that it's not all or nothing, right? You can have a balance where you can still go out to eat and you can still go do that stuff.
Right. Well, that's the thing too. Like we're making pizzas, we're making panzerottis. We're just making 2-ingredient dough instead.
Exactly.
Like so, they're actually really enjoying the meals that we're making.
Yeah, they
and they're
haven't.
asking for it again.
Yeah, they haven't had any complaints, and we basically most of the meals they just go with it. They don't give them a choice.
And that's one of the things right there too that we like to point out to people because a lot of people look at when you go on WWE and you think I can't eat the stuff I love. And this is a proof and point here that does apply and have it a different way. You can still enjoy that same feeling of what you like and like to eat.
Well, it's not finding a replacement, but finding something that satisfies the same craving.
Yeah.
That's how I like to look at it, right? Because there's, you know what I mean? Like, and I'll be honest, a lot of times now, I'd rather make something at home and eat it from me than go out and get it from somewhere else and pay twice as much for something that's normally not as good. Because they don't use the spices that I like. He's getting a little sweaty. Something Mel Bell said here too, which I really want to emphasize, which is great because I think Joe and Casey will love this comment, is there's such a great mental shift when you want to do the exercise other than realizing that you have to do it. When you want to do something, it's like wanting to go to an amusement park, wanting to go on vacation, wanting to do that. We never thought we would want to exercise before, and now we absolutely have that want.
It was like this morning, we did Body Attack, and you know what, I can't wait to do it tomorrow because it was that much fun. We enjoy doing that kind of activity. It's like for us, it's like you're running, you're dancing, you're swimming. It's because
I will say this, I was glad it was only 30 minutes though. Yeah. It was a perfect time. If we would have had to do the entire hour today, I don't think I would have been as go-getter to it, but the fact that it was 30 minutes and he's done, and in 30 minutes I burned like 500 calories. Yeah. So. And
there's something we talked about the other day about you. A funny story that I want Joe to share about the McDonald's story.
Yes.
Because I think it's a hilarious story, and the reason I want you to share it, I'll talk about why after, but I want you to share that story because I think it was an amazing story.
So this is before we started WW. I was on my way home from work, and I was my usual bad eating habits. I was starving, so I figured I'd stop at McDonald's on the way home. And as I was pulling around to go through the drive-thru, I see Mackenzie sitting in her van eating her McDonald's. So we were both like trying to sneak and eat McDonald's before we got home.
And what was funny is that during that conversation, Casey said, "So you mean all this time I was trying to help you guys be healthy, you would be doing that behind closed doors?" And what I said after, you see what this has caused you guys now? As a family, you're now admitting to these issues that you've had. And that's what's important about this, is talking
about our food addiction.
Yeah, I used to grab a full box of pasta when I would work from home. I would cook it, eat it entirely, and hide the box of pasta in the garage, in the recycle bin, so you wouldn't see it. And I would wash all the dishes, put them all away, so that you wouldn't see the entire box.
Well, look at all the chocolate that we'd have in the basement, and there'd be wrappers
everywhere
in our storage room. I'd leave the wrapper in the storage room. I wouldn't go throw it in the garbage because I was afraid to find it in the garbage.
We've all done this, and if you have the courage to start discussing it, sometimes it's very therapeutic and helps you. And that day when Mackenzie was there during this conversation, and she also it was very like eye-opening for all of you probably, because you notice now what you guys were doing last year was not working, obviously, but what you're doing now, because you're able to talk about it, you know how it's working now.
I'm going to apply the same theory as it is to any type of AA program or addiction program. What do they make you do in these programs? They make you share. They make you share. I'm a gambler. I gambled a lot of money away in my lifetime. I absolutely did. And it wasn't until I was able to admit to myself that I was a gambler and that I had a problem with it, it was always something that was always hidden and no one knew about. And that's the thing. Once I finally started talking about it and making it a reality part of my life, I've kind of said, this is no longer, I'm no longer taking blame for it. I'm no longer being guilty for it, but now I need to find ways to work around it. And it's the same thing with this food. When you're hiding food and you're sneaking food and you're not tracking truthfully, all you're doing is cheating yourself. And that's when I agree to use the word cheat, because you ain't indulging yourself there anymore. You are 100% cheating.
And that's the thing, and we all have those stories. And for some reason, a lot of people don't think, everybody's ashamed of talking about them, but we all have those stories. We've all done I threw this out, went back to the garbage and grabbed it out afterwards. And we know we won't admit it, but we've all done it. We've all, I went to the store and I bought this entire cake, I came home and ate the entire
Bag of
thing
chips
myself.
on the way home from work.
Yes.
Guilty.
Like we've all done these things, but we don't admit to them because we're ashamed of them. But WWE is a situation where you can talk about it because all of us have done it.
Oh, completely. I just remembered. I would go to the grocery store back in the day, and I would be in the line buying groceries from Walmart, and there'd be a chocolate bar, and I would buy a chocolate bar, and I'd eat the entire chocolate bar on the way home, driving home. Eat that chocolate bar, or two of them. And then not even track them, not even say anything.
Everyone in the chat room saying guilty.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. We all done it, and I think that's the thing. Once you can get rid of that stigma of I'm the only one, and you can actually share those dark, deep moments, it actually helps you kind of cleanse. It helps you kind of get through things because you realize I'm not the only one that's going through this. I'm not the only one that has this issue with food. We all do, and that's why we're all here. And that's why we help each other. We share these stories and that's why we encourage so many people to share these stories, because it's an eye-opener for others to see, I'm not alone. I'm not the only one that's going through this, right?
Yeah.
So I love that story. When you guys said it, it completely clicked something in my mind. I was saying I have to talk about it on Saturday. So I'm glad I remembered. So next thing I kind of want to talk about is for you guys too. What are your favorite meals as a family that you're doing right now? What are the main ones you guys have the most? And where can people find you now? Because you guys are all you're on social media too now. So we created a new monster.
They can find us on Casey and Joe's WW Journey and Recipes, and
On Facebook.
on Facebook, and then also on Cooking with the McCarthys on YouTube.
Perfect. That's awesome. And what's the best recipes you guys use the most as a family?
Okay, so I make your chicken nuggets just like Laura does. And Brooke says, Mom, can you text them and tell them it's my favorite?
Aww.
I'll tell them. She's asked me 3 times if I messaged you yet.
Thanks, Brooke. We love you. Thank you. Glad you like them.
And we love the pizzas. We love the panzerottis. What else have we been doing?
WW's really actually opened up our menu.
Yeah, I feel like rather than it being a negative thing, it's been more of a positive thing.
I ate eggplant parmesan the other day.
Yeah, so for our dinner last weekend, your dinner and dance.
Oh yeah.
I made eggplant parmesan for myself because he wouldn't eat it. So while I was eating it, I kept going, oh my God, it's so delicious. And he's like, okay, well, let me try it. And he goes, oh yeah, you're right, this is good. I said, see? So I've really played around with a lot of foods too. And I watch your videos a lot. And I'll say, okay, tomorrow I'm making that. And I'll make something from your video. And Mackenzie makes your onion rings like 3 times a week. So, yeah.
That's hilarious. But what I thought was really cool too is the fact that you say you're willing to try things out. And that's such an important thing. And the fact is that if you really look at things and make things you absolutely like, I think a lot of times we think these recipes need to be so complicated and we try to make things that are not part of our regular meals. And don't get me wrong, I love a lot of the WW recipes, but sometimes you don't have the fresh garden herbs in your garden. You don't have this, you don't have that.
They're very particular.
And that's where a lot of our recipes came out of. We realized that when we were making stuff, we wanted stuff for every day. And that's why I think it works for a lot of people, like the chicken nuggets. It's something, panko, yogurt, chicken, or egg, and you're done. Boom, done.
And I found out what panko is, everybody. Panko is just basically white breadcrumbs without the crust. The way they're cooked, they're dried out is different. It's not that much different, but it's just no crust. It is crustless breadcrumbs.
and it's delicious. We use it all the time.
We like it.
Yeah, we really haven't changed our menu of what we eat a lot.
Yeah, we just
Other than-
changed how we make it.
Yeah, how we make it, or the ingredients we use, just so it's a little bit healthier, and it's working.
That's
When I eat
awesome.
pizza next, I just have veggies. I just make a veggie pizza. But then we went out and got your turkey pepperoni, which we would have never known about had we not watched your video.
We finally found it.
Yay! We love that pepperoni. We use that stuff all the time. We use it in, you can use it in omelets, you can use it in breakfast, you can use it in.
You can cut it up and use it as bacon,
Bacon
and like
bits.
as bacon bits.
We use
They're
it as
amazing.
chips. It's a versatile. Like
Yeah.
it's a useful tool
Yeah.
to have in your arsenal. Awesome.
Well, it was awesome chatting.
So we'll bring Laura back.
Yeah.
We'll bring Laura back. So
And then we'll do a 5-way chat.
a five-way
There you
chat
go.
now.
And we're gonna open up to some questions to people in YouTube and
Yes.
Facebook.
So if anybody has any questions, you guys can ask us. We'll ask them after. By the way, we got a lot of comments for all three of you. The people were saying, just thanking you for what you were sharing, and some people were saying they love you, Casey and Joe. They love the McCarthys. So we want to give you all three of you, the good feedback we've been seeing across both platforms, because we got chat down here too as well. You might see us like this all the time.
Yeah.
It's because as you're talking, we're trying to read that. Look here. My pants are wrong. So is there any questions? I haven't seen, let me see if I can see on here. So someone here, Eleanor, shared that she remembers eating a powdered donut in the car, got home, and her husband said, "Did you enjoy your donut?" And then she was trying to hide it, but he saw the powdered on
Oh
the
my
shirt, so he
goodness.
caught her.
That's like lipstick on the collar,
Yeah, so that's
powder on the shirt.
So I do have a question for. I'll ask a question first until if anybody else wants to ask something. So, where do you guys see yourselves? Do you guys see this new journey you're on? I know, Laura, you've reached lifetime, but do you see yourselves being able to sustain this forever? And that's a question I want to pose, because I know for you, Casey, you've been on multiple runarounds, the same as you, Laura. And I'm not, Joe, I'm not sure for you, but I know Casey and Laura, you both have been on multiple runarounds on this. And I just want to know, do you guys feel now that you have the tools to help you keep going? Do you feel like this is something sustainable?
Yes.
Yes, I do. I very much do. It's all mental now for me. I don't know if it's an age thing where I've just reached an age of maturity where for me it's more mental. I was like you guys. I always lost weight because I wanted to get something out of it. So it was like I had a wedding to stand in, or for me it was I turned 19 and I was starting to go out to the bars and I wanted to lose weight because I wanted to meet someone. So there was always like a little goal. Now for me it's health.
Yeah, it's so we can have a better life together in the future.
And I know you guys love to
really
travel.
love to travel, and we want to be able to go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just like us.
We want to retire and enjoy life.
That's amazing.
And Laura, for you too, the same question. Do you feel now that, I know you've been multiple rounds?
Do you think you'll fall off again ever, or do you how?
Not fall off. Do you think you have the tools that
Yes,
even if
to
you have-
sustain.
to sustain,
Even if you have those moments.
Yeah, I think definitely having a proper mindset is what makes all the difference. Like I said, building the community, and then having the tools are all there for you. It's just whether or not you're willing to use the tools, right? And so, reach out to other people who are on the same boat as you, whether it's, your sister or a friend, or even if it's just like a random stranger. And, we can all relate somehow. And I mean, since being quarantined, I've had a hard time, being home with the kids and juggling all of that. And, I can admit that I've fallen off a little bit. But it's been so much easier to get my head back in the game this time around. Whereas before I would have been months and months, gone before I figured out that, oh, my clothes don't fit, or I'm depressed again, and then I needed to get back on track.
Another thing actually that just came to mind from something we spoke about the other day, Laura, and we haven't mentioned it yet, but there is somebody else that you're doing this journey with that's not in your household. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so I think that's a little bit different too. Like I said, it's not my husband who's supporting me, my sister. So her and I, we've been big all our lives, since puberty onward, more or less. So for her, her highest weight was 250 pounds. And she's shorter than me. I think she's maybe 5'5" or 5'6" maybe. Yeah, so she decided she wanted to lose weight. I don't know, maybe just after I had my first baby, we just kind of motivated each other.
And is she not
just sending each other kind of weekly check-ins.
And she is not a WW member, correct?
So she's not. She's never been on WW. She has no interest in it. I tried to convert her. She uses an app. I don't know if you want me to say
No, we'll
it.
say it.
Yeah, of course.
She does use an app. Yeah, so she uses MyFitnessPal,
Yeah.
so that tracks calories.
Yeah.
It works for her.
And
I did use MyFitnessPal after I had my first baby, and it did help me lose weight. It just wasn't what I needed. I didn't need to be counting every single calorie. I need the choice that, like, if I'm hungry, I can have a banana, I can have an apple, I can have a few extra vegetables. You know, I need that, right? So, but anyways, we supported each other along the way, and you know, she ended up losing over 100 pounds.
And I love
The
your
reason
story.
we want to bring that up is because I love the fact that you and your sister were both on your own
journeys,
but we're still
supporting
supporting each other. You don't have to be
Yeah.
on the exact same journey as somebody else.
But also
there's no
proves-
such thing
It
as
also
the
proves
same
that
journey.
you don't have to be doing the same thing
Yeah.
to be able to help someone.
No.
And that's the thing. Like, we seem to think that, oh, because we're WW, only WW we need to, it's like an exclusive group. But no, you can't. Like, my mom has never done WW at
Nope.
all.
And never will.
And never will. But she's followed some of our tips. She's started eating more chicken, more ground turkey. She's removed beef from her diet. Like, she's noticed stuff we've done and she's followed it. So sharing what you've learned with others sometimes will influence them as well, even if they're not WW members. And I think Laura is a perfect example. Her and her sister helped each other out even though they were both not doing the same thing. And I think that's something that some of other people out there could
We
probably
need to start looking out for other
Other
people who
people.
are on a health on a wellness journey and still learn from them.
There was a few things on chat, so I will ask a few questions. Go ahead, Laura. I'll ask you a question after.
I was just gonna say, like, you know, regardless of what plan you're on, you know, we all have the same issues, right? Whether it's, you know, you're overweight because of mental health issues, or you're overweight because you don't know how to eat properly, or stress, or whatever. And that's how we always connected, because, you know, just like Nick said, you know, you grew up in a family where your parents didn't teach you how to eat properly, and that was the same as us, right? So, you know, we lean on each other for recipes, for motivation, and the way that we see it is, you know, as a food addiction, and that's how we support each other. We have our own little joke that, you know, we have our little Overeaters Anonymous group.
That's what we called. That's what we always said. That's what we always said. That was our OA meeting. It was our OA meeting.
And that's exactly, she said to me, even just the other day, she's like, because I said to her, I had a really hard day with the kids and I ate all the cookies. And she said, next time you need to call me or text me so we can have our OEA meeting, she said. So.
I love it.
That's awesome.
It's true.
And it's something Sandra Stiff said something now which was really cool. It said we need to stop being ashamed of how many times we have fallen and start being proud of how many times we've stood back up.
Yeah, which is so true.
Like,
It's
it's
so true.
insane. Why do we always negate all the positive things that we do